That's the reason I put them Hindle letters out the other day. That's for the first time I've put the full lot out. Full correspondence. I'll explain that I need. For people who didn't understand the letters, I didn't have to put them out in the read order. The first letter, these are the solicitor's letters between the Windhell Gang solicitor and Clive Hindle. But first and foremost, Clive Hindle wrote a letter to Joe Hunt's co-accused, Tony, who was in the same prison as me, telling Tony, them two's informers, blah, blah, blah. I can tell you the full fucking tale. I can tell you how we found out the one informers. Clive Hindle's a solicitor and a barrister. And there's all sorts of skullduggery went on. Well, all of them. Well, fucking all of them. But that's how we come out about the Windhell Gang being informers, which just so happens to be two named by Glover and Viv's murder. When I was getting extradited, when I was flying out on the plane, getting drunk, two busy sat in front of us, two crime squad. So talking to us about some guns that had just been handed in, like trying to start a conversation off with us. Adam talked to the cunts. I still haven't, to this fucking day, do I talk to these cunts. But anyway, I thought, what these up to, thinking, do they think I've had something to do with these fucking guns getting handed in or something to myself on the plane. But the machine gun had getting handed in, guns had been handed in, Semtex, explosives, been handed in. But it turned out it was Joe Hunt who handed them in to get bail. He was charged with an armed robbery, him and Tony W, who the letter is, the first letter. That's from Clive Hindle, the Tony W. That's Joe Hunt's co-accused in the robbery. And he's letting Tony know in the letter, them two's informers, working for NCIS, National Criminal Intelligence Service. That's the two younger Windhell Gang brothers, so two was playing for killing Viv. So I got a copy of the letter. Because I'm fighting on with these cunts in the maximum security prison system anyway, through the system for years. I had a walk on with them. Then I get a hold of this fucking solicitor's letter. So you know what I done with. I sent it straight up to Franklin where they were. I went, aye, what's all this about? And asked them themselves, Shady Bulger, his younger brother, what's all this about? So they passed the solicitor's letter out to their solicitor, who writes to Clive Hindle and complains about it. That's the correspondence. And another thing, in the letter to Tony from Clive Hindle, he mentions Joe Hunt works for the haulage bloke involved in the demand of the money that the Windhell Gang were on demand for at the time. Demand of money were menaces. So when the Windhell Gang solicitor writes a letter to Clive Hindle, he asks him about calling his clients grasses, and two, can you make us a statement confirming blah 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 what he'd said about Joe Hunt working for the haulage bloke, Section 9 statement or something. That's the two things their solicitor mentions when he writes to Clive Hindle. Clive Hindle stands his ground when no, they're fucking grasses. So as if I'm fucking wrong. To their solicitor, so as if I'm fucking wrong. I'll tell you how we found out in a minute. Says their solicitor in the letters, correspondence, so as if I'm fucking wrong. And when their solicitor writes back after that, he just drops the whole matter about him calling his clients grasses. And he just asks them for the statement, Section 9 statement, about Joe working for the haulage bloke instead. Just drops the whole matter. So the correspondence alone tells you they're working for NCIS, them cunts back then. That's a solicitor and a barrister. But anyway, Joe Hunt didn't get his bail when he handed these things in. And his solicitor and barrister, Clive Hindle, couldn't believe that he didn't get bail, especially after what he'd done. So he got in touch with directly with the Home Office, find out why his client hadn't been given fucking bail after what he'd done. And he found out from the Home Office that something, whatever it was, the information that they had on Hunt, Joe Hunt, it had come from them two, Shitey and his younger brother. That was from the Home Office to Clive Hindle. We've got information off the Winter Hill gang against your client for whatever crime it is, I'm not sure. And that's how Joe Hunt's solicitor, barrister, found out Viv's killers work for Nensis. The old man was working for the Met. That was in 1995. He admitted it in Bobby Stokoe's committal. Bobby Stokoe's the fellow who shot him in the fucking head, down on the quayside. I can tell you the full tale about that. I can't. I'm deeply involved in the whole thing. In all ways. In all fucking ways. Probably caused it. Not deliberately. Like I probably caused Viv getting shot, telling Viv how they couldn't shoot. Telling him how they moved. When he did how they moved, he broke one of their jaws. But if I never told him to throw them out, he wouldn't have thrown them out. Because he's worried about them. He's worried about them with me. But when he seen me telling him to throw them out, he knew. That's why he was punching the fucking airman when I left them. He knew, hey, they're not with Conroy. They're not even working with me. Which is what he thought. That's the only reason I got stepped in his club in the first place. Viv wasn't worried about them, he wasn't. So I probably caused it, telling him to throw them out. And he ended up getting shot over it, throwing them out. Similar thing happened with the old man getting shot in the head of Bobby. But getting back to it, in the committal, probably an old style committal where they've got to come and give evidence. He admitted in the old style committal, their father, and he worked for the Special Operation Unit at the Met. The ones Furby got caught working for, especially that was Special Operations Unit 2, but it was Domestic Terrorism Unit. The Met have 40 SO1, SO2, SO3, Special Operations 1, Special Operations 2, you know what I mean? We've got 40 different departments who work from the Met at the high level above the police. And the old man was working for them back in the day. It's turned out he's in with the fucking Masons, he's in with the fucking church, in with the fucking council. While they're running all the prostitution and all the fucking underage shit in the city. That's always been their fucking game. It's only of late they started the armed robberies like themselves up front. When the Hill Gang, they've always stepped back and got people to do things. They've actually done graft themselves, mock people's cards and organised things. It's only the younger generation got involved with robberies themselves, you know what I mean? But they've all been working for the Met. It's been a family thing. So the paperwork from Clive Hindle is on my community page, post page, if anyone wants to read the correspondence between the two solicitors over the letter to Tony. What I sent them up to Franklin. And that's when I got that letter, that's when they got their mates to write to David Cleland, the MP, calling me a grass. Humble keeps putting a letter out. But I've got a letter from David Cleland, his findings after he'd done an investigation to see if I'm a grass, and he says the opposite was true. So Humble doesn't put that letter out, Cleland's findings to the allegation. But that's the reason I got it done. That letter to Cleland, when I had that letter against them in the prison system from the solicitor. That's what caused that letter to Cleland. But they've all been working with the fucking busies, a whole lot. It's a family affair. And it just so happens, and it's in black and white there, legal letters. He even challenged, got that solicitor to complain, and he went, no, they are fucking grasses. I had clear and cogent information which allowed me with clarity. Read the letters. So as if I'm wrong. And then when the solicitor writes back, he just drops the whole matter about them being grasses. And just says, all right, and I just want the Section 9 statement off you. But Joe Hunt working for the haulage block. Just drops the whole matter. Speaks volumes on its own, doesn't it? But so I just thought I'd have it with him, with Fumbles and his crew nonsense us off, whilst they're online representing the Winter Hill gang while they're doing it. I thought I'd book this live and have a chat about them. Some truth about them though. This is dog barking. The truth about them though. With facts, with legal letters and that. Newspaper articles. But then I was thinking, you know what it is? I'm only doing that because of what they're doing to me online. To myself. Then I thought to myself, fucking hell man, he's caused all this trouble in the first place. Why they're all locked up, all of them, and everybody's nicked. He's still doing it to them. And even while they're locked up, giving it the bit of lodge. That's why you're seeing all half the fucking trouble and all, man, the shite they've come up with. Look at them, all in fucking numbers, all in protection. Because they're getting attacked, whether it's our own protection or whether it's the governor's protection. They're still on it. And that's because they're getting fucking attacked in prison everywhere they fucking gone. That's your Winter Hill gang for you today. That's a situation with the Winter Hill gang. That is fact. They're all in fucking protection in prison, getting attacked everywhere they fucking gone. There's no getting away from that. No matter what's causing it. No matter what's causing it. That's a situation for them. But I just thought, is it Humble's causing all that for them as well? If he could continue in these online activities against all the Winter Hill gang's enemies and foes, and you know what I mean? That's what he's done from day one. He's still doing it to this day. That's why I'm on the other night talking about them, giving you their pedigree with facts. Giving you their pedigree while the prisons is looking in as well. Do you know what I mean? Does them no favours at all. They're going to jail. They're not going to jail for the murders, but that's why they've got them in there. Or the murders, or the murder investigations. They're getting targeted, man. When the state, the government, the Home Office, whoever it fucking is, who's in charge, when they've got you doing on their books, there's multiple murderers. They sit on you, the intelligence system, the system does, sits on you 24/7. Your priority, even in your area. Your priority, made priority for all the informants, and that's the system. And that's what you're under when they've got you doing as a multiple murderer. And that's what's going on today with the Winter Hill gang, and it's for the murders they've been blaming me for. They'll not get done for the murders. I don't think these murders will ever be solved, ever. Not any of them. But that'll not stop them. The state and the authorities taking these out at every opportunity just because they've got them doing as multiple murderers, just to get them off the street like they've done with me. Time and time again. That's what's going on now, but it's doing to the murders. And the system will just deals with the rest.